How to supercharge your brain power in 17 minutes without supplements, okay? Because we live in a day and age where we are not judged based on our brute strength, we are judged based on our brain strength, all right? The more brain strength you have, the more willpower you have, and the more you increase your ability to do what needs to be done in order to become who you need to be to achieve your goals. All right, now the key point over here is without stimulants, okay? Because we live in a world where we're hooked on the coffee, where we're hooked on the energy drinks, where we're hooked on the external substance just to borrow energy from tomorrow that we don't have today, and there will always be a price to pay at the end for that, okay? Because don't get me wrong, I love drinking coffee, I have an occasional energy drink here and there, but when you become dependent on these things to actually feel energy, that is where the problem exists, because that messes with our brain wiring and it makes us dependent on something that is outside of us, okay? So how can you supercharge your brain power in 17 minutes without supplements? So this is what I recommend that you do every single day, first thing in the morning, okay? So the first thing when you wake up, after you go to the toilet, after you drink some water, the first thing you need to do is break a sweat, okay? I mean aerobic exercise. So the reason for this is because your brain responds very positively to aerobic exercise, okay? There is you can call it a neurotransmitter. It's called dopamine. I'm sure you've heard of it. Your brain increases dopamine. It's responsible for your drive and motivation. Your brain releases serotonin, which elevates your mood, makes you feel better about yourself. Both of these neurotransmitters are like it's like sprinkling it in the garden of your mind so that your neural connections can fortify better and your brain can function better as a result as well, right? But the most important aspect of exercising first thing in the morning is something called BDNF, okay? Brain derived neurotrophic factor. And what this does, it's like Jim Quick, who is the world's leading expert on brain performance, he calls BDNF brain fertilizer, okay? And there's a man by the name of John Rady. He wrote a book called Spark the Revolutionary New Science of Your Brain on Exercise, and he says that BDNF is like miracle grow for your brain, because they've done studies on this. They put nerve cells in a petri dish, and then when they put BDNF on top of it, those nerve cells actually sprout new connections, and those connections are much stronger as a result of it as well. All right, so the first thing you need to do when you wake up is break a sweat. For me, sometimes that just means doing sets of burpees until I just can't go any longer. Maybe it's skipping rope, whatever it is for you. Maybe it's mountain climbers. Just get your heart rate elevated, break a sweat, so that you can enrich the garden of your mind with the ingredients to actually fertilize and nurture the growth and set up the environment for a day of supercharged brain power. All right, so it'll take you about 5 to 7 minutes, however long it is, just until you break a sweat. That's when you keep on exercising, okay? The second thing you do right after exercise is meditation, okay? Now, meditation has a lot of connotations to it in terms of what it actually is, but what I want you to do is basically sit down for 5 minutes, especially if you've never done it before. You can download an app from the App Store called Oak. They have a guided meditation on there as well. But just for 5 minutes, right after your heart rate is elevated, your emotions are spiked, your nervous system is spiked, you go into a state of calmness, okay? Your main goal is to go from that spiked up nervous system and calm it down by focusing on your breath and observing the thoughts that are going on in your head, okay? Now, there are a boatload of studies on meditation and the benefits that it has on the brain, but I'm just going to tell you that even 2 weeks of meditation of 5 minutes every single day of mindfulness meditation has been shown to increase the gray matter in the prefrontal cortex in the brain, okay? Now, the gray matter is associated with your willpower, with your self-control, and of course, the more you can increase and encourage the gray matter to increase in your brain, the better you will be able to say no to the temptations, say no to your cravings, and say no to the things that do not align with your higher vision, okay? So just 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation. Sit there in a comfortable position. You can download the app, like I said, and just relax. Calm down your nervous system and relax, observe your thoughts, okay? The third thing, so now you are done with 7 minutes of exercise, you've broken a sweat, you've done 5 minutes of meditation, and now the third step is to hop into a cold shower. Okay, so again, this is going to spike your nervous system. There's a lot of benefits for cold showers, but again, it really comes down to boosting your resiliency. Okay, because we went from exercising to calm to again spiking your nervous system up again, and there's a lot of benefits of cold showers. But in terms of boosting your brain power, so what cold showers do is it boosts your norepinephrine, and this is a neurotransmitter which is associated with vigilance, with alertness, with arousal, so that you can actually pump yourself up and get ready for the day ahead. Okay, so if you've never taken a cold shower before, I just recommend taking a warm shower as per normal and then ending it with 30 seconds, but work your way up to 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes of a cold shower where you're just soaking your face, your chest, your underarms, because these are the areas that are directly associated with the vagus nerve. This is the nerve that directly connects your brain to your body, to the rest of the organs, and it strengthens the tone of it, which means that you will be able to strengthen your resilience to stress. Okay, and we live in a world where we're infused with so much chronic stress, where we're thinking about this, that, and the other thing. But when you actually expose yourself to this hormetic stress, which is this short-term stress, it actually boosts your resilience to this long-term stress as well. And of course, your brain power is boosted up to better deal with these things. Okay, so now it's 7 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes of meditation, 3 minutes of a cold shower, and then we have 2 minutes left, which I recommend you brush your teeth with your opposite hand. Now this might seem weird, why would you want to brush your teeth with your opposite hand? But the second thing is that brain derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, is also released in response to novelty. And when you're brushing your teeth with your left hand, if you're a lefty, just use your right hand, you're introducing your brain to novelty, and that will increase BDNF as well. Okay, so start your mornings like this. These are 4 things you can do in 17 minutes to significantly enhance your brain power and show up as your most grounded, strongest, focused, and non-dependent on external circumstances self. Okay, this has been Mo Salim. I really hope that you implement this stuff, because more information is not what you need at this point. What you need is execution. Okay, in 17 minutes you can really elevate your neurotransmitters and you can elevate your state to show up as your grounded and most confident self.